Twins or triplets? What the heck is he talking about? Well, as you see, this is part one. And it's going to be 3 different twin mill builds. Starting with this one, the Twin Mill 3. I absolutely love the looks of this casting, and it really reminds me of a Corvette in a lot of ways. I'm sure you see it too. This is the first build. It's going to be a Redline conversion. I love the casting. I hate the colors. And if you know anything about me, those wheels definitely aren't going to fly. So this is the first. The second is going to be a Twin Mill 2. And the series of 3 twins or triplets is going to finish with the original Twin Mill from back when I was a kid. And I'm hoping to have that done, a restoration of that one, for National Redline Day on May 18th. So on this one, I took it apart, and it's metal body, plastic base, chrome plastic interior, and a little tiny glass section. As you can see, there's some rough spots on the casting that needed to be cleaned up. But I really wanted to turn this into a Redline, and the same thing for the Twin Mill 2 that's going to be coming up. But this one, my big problem on it was really trying to find the back wheels in Redline wheels, because in case you couldn't tell on the original shots, those back wheels are pretty big. They're bigger than any of the cap style or the bearing style wheels that you can get out there, at least that I've been able to find. So I did have to do some rummaging around to figure out what I was going to do, and you'll see that shortly. But fortunately, this had really good posts that I could drill out. There you see the primer, the Duplicolor Sandable Primer. Time Rider, Lee, over at Time Rider's Wee Little Cars, suggested earlier that I give this a try when I was trying to do these pseudo Spectraflame paint jobs and polishing the castings. You know, when Sandy Koufax gives you pitching advice, you listen to him. And so when he mentioned this, I thought, man, that's a hell of a good idea. Let me give it a shot. And it worked really well. You know, and I never crossed my mind prior to him mentioning it. But basically, you spray the primer on, and here you see me wet sanding it off. And you should have a pretty smooth surface once you're through sanding it off. It's an excellent suggestion. So I did this and got it pretty shiny, as you can see there. That's after you can see the pile of sandpaper. That's after doing some sanding, and there's after doing some polishing. That was the first polish, and you can see there's still a few little rough spots that I think I just kept bringing out more little problems in the casting the more I sanded it. There were just some veins in it and things that wouldn't clean up perfectly, but I got it pretty darn shiny. Cleaned it off again, and then hit it with the metal cast. Yes, the red that I love. And the Minwax clear, gloss clear polyurethane coating. And while that's off drying, it's time to pop out the wheels. You see that plastic base? It doesn't look like a Redline base, does it? It's silver, but I needed to do something. And years ago, my mom used rub and buff on picture frames. She used a gold leaf style. This stuff's still around, and I thought, well, let me try it on this casting. I've wanted to try it here for a little while. I thought this was the perfect chance to make plastic look like metal without spray painting it, or I wanted to try something different that would give it a true metal look as opposed to just a painted look. So you basically put this stuff on, rub it off, and then you can see me lightly rubbing it off with the Q-tip. And it's kind of a wax-based product with the silver leaf in it. And you're going to see me switch over. Once I get the 2 ends done, I end up putting on gloves, and the reason for that is this stuff, anytime there's some buildup, you can transfer it to other things really easily if you're not careful. So as you can see on my gloves there. So once you buff that stuff off, then you can actually give it a clear coat to seal it, or they actually suggest doing that. Now it was time to do the wheels, and I finally got off my lazy butt, got on Tinkercad, and came up with, bearings. How simple should bearings be to design? Dear Lord, that this is not a complex design. So I got on Tinkercad, came up with the bearings. They worked perfectly. I printed out probably what's a lifetime supply for me. And I used the same axle that was originally on this casting. Cut the old wheels off, used that axle, threw the bearings on there, crimped the end of the axle that I had cut, and couldn't have been easier or better. And now I have a bunch of bearings, and I can do redline conversions pretty easily now. But the back wheels. I found this casting. I think it's Star Wars based. I'm not quite sure what the casting is called. Found it in my pile of junk, but those back wheels were the perfect size, and even better, they dropped right in. I didn't need to change the length of the axle at all, and I wish that happened more often, but when it does, man, it doesn't get any better than that. Now again, this is a redline conversion, so I didn't do a lot of detail. I just wanted it to look like it would have looked if this thing had come out when the rest of the original redlines came out. And I did not gauzy the glass. Please forgive me. That glass was perfect. It didn't need it. And it's so tiny. I don't think it would have made much of a difference one way or the other. I hope you agree that that base looks pretty darn metallic. It was surprising how well that rub and buff worked. And again, once you seal it with the clear coat, you don't have to worry about it rubbing off or anything like that. It truly does seal it in there, and the paint dries. It's perfect. It's not like the paint doesn't dry or something like that because of the wax nature of it. Like I said before, they do suggest that you seal it, and it's part of how they design it. So now it's just a matter of throwing this thing back together, and I think we end up with a pretty darn good looking redline. That Minwax clear coat, man. And the metal cast paint, you've seen me use it 100 times. You'll see me use it 100 more if you keep watching my videos. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to paint the Twin Mill 2 and the original Twin Mill the same red color so that the triplets they look like sisters. Or if I'll do different colors. I'm not sure. There's a good chance I'm going to stick with this same color. So there you see the end result. I think it's a big improvement of where we started. I think the polishing turned out pretty good. I intentionally didn't polish that back area there. I wanted it to look dark and different than the highly polished area. And it kind of went back to the original Twin Mill that I have that I'm going to be doing the restoration on. It actually has that back section, a similar back section, painted black. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that when I restore that one or not. But there's a good chance that I will. Anyhow, I hope you like this build. I'm pretty darn happy with how it turned out. It sits perfectly. It sits as perfectly as I could hope. And doing those bearings worked out pretty well. I've wanted to do that for a while, and again, I've just been lazy. So thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks to my Patreon supporters for all of their continued support. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. See you in the next installment of Twins or Triplets. Hope you like this. Everybody stay safe and healthy out there. Catch you in the next one.